hope you are doing well on this rather fine, hot and sunny Friday. Well, it is in London anyway. Not sure where you are in the world, of course, but in London it's a bit sunny and it's a bit warm. Yeah, which catches you by surprise, doesn't it, this time of year? But yeah, I hope you're doing well though, ahead of what is a big weekend for West Ham, and in particular Graham Potter. You feel this is a hugely significant game for him and at his time at the club. Not to suggest that it's his last. I mean, it could well be his last, depending on how the result pans out. If it's a heavy defeat, I think it could well be. But it's a game that he simply must win. So big pressure on Graham Potter this weekend. But we're ready to talk about that. We'll do a chat about that tomorrow morning with the team news and bits and pieces. But what I want to talk about is the latest news got from EXWHU Employee. Before I do, though, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. Come and join us on this journey. Free to do so. Just click that subscribe button. And also hit that like button as well. And if you want, you can hype us up. You only get 3 a week, but if you've got a spare one, you're thinking, yeah, I'll give that a hype. Feel free. And in return, I'll tell you some news from EXWHU Employee. I'm going to level with you. I'm not really enthusiastic about West Ham at the moment, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to. When you've had a really crappy season like we did last year, really tedious summer, which is just fraught with constant reminders of how skint we are, to then start a season the way we have, which is 4 Premier League games in, 3 very heavy defeats, and 2 of them against Chelsea and Spurs at home. Yeah, forgive me for not being that infused by West Ham at the moment, and the West Ham news, to be honest. I'm finding it all a little bit tedious, to say the least, because it just feels like we are really in a rut, don't we, as a football club at the moment. It doesn't feel like a good place. Of course, tomorrow's protests are hugely significant. I'm absolutely gutted, by the way. I'm not going to be there. I can't make it because of commitments. My missus is away, so I've got commitments to look after my children, so I just can't be there. But I will certainly be there in spirit, and I will be going to more of the protests afterwards. But yeah, I'm expecting a big turnout. Big turnout. I think, do you know what it is, right? I think it's that statement for the club, because the statement they put out. I think, let's be honest, that statement was there for the press. Really, that there's so much crap in it that West Ham fans can just, we just see it, don't we? We how tired are we listening to this rubbish that we have to keep listening to from these owners, and the constant patting themselves on the back, and it's painful. So forgive me, I'm going to sort of say it now that the news I'm going to tell you. Usually I'll be going, this sounds pretty good. This is a bit exciting. This is what I want to hear. I'm just struggling with it at the moment. Maybe, I'll do this video and then I'll get some really nice comments and I'll go, and you can just cheer me up and go, actually, Mark, do you know what? This is really good news. You should be a bit more optimistic about it. Maybe perk me up, but I've got a feeling that's unlikely. But because I imagine you're the same as me. No doubt, going into this weekend feeling a bit. Do you know what's really as well doing, mate? Eventually I will get to this news. I'm just sort of airing my grievances at the moment, as you can tell. Thank you for listening. I'll tell you what's doing my head in more than anything. It's the fact that because West Ham have started so crap again, it's so deflating. It also it has a knock-on effect for football for me in general. Do you know what I mean? Like this week we've had Champions League football and all that, and I'm just finding it so difficult to get infused to watch it and get excited by football. Do you know what I mean? I want to sink my teeth into it and enjoy it, but I just when West Ham are doing so bad, I find it so difficult to get that optimism up to go, yeah, this game's on tonight. There's a Manchester derby on. I watch that. I just find myself feeling so deflated and sort of like everything I'm doing at the moment when it comes to football is so with that in the back of my mind, of West Ham, and it's frustrating, very frustrating. Anyway, was that 4 minutes? Not even got to the bloody subject yet. Told you to subscribe. It's brilliant, this channel. Right, let's get on with it. Let's talk about David Gold's shares. This is the update from EXWHU Employee. I'm going to read you the update and I'll tell you what I think about it, and also tell me what you think about it. Let me know. Cheer me up, all right? Just say, look, Mark, come on, everything's brilliant. What are you talking about? The stadium's fantastic. Were you blind? Training ground, we've spent millions on it. Look at it. Look at that cabin. It's absolutely brilliant. What are you moaning about? Do you remember when I will get to it, I promise. Do you remember when the M, let me get this right. It was an M fell off. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? it said West Ham United on the wall outside the stadium, and the M and West Ham fell off, and they didn't have an M to replace it, so they got a W and stuck it on upside down. That's ambition. That is state of the art. Right, I'm getting on with it. Right, this is the news from ex-director employee. The Gold family have been looking to sell their shares for a while, and it seems that may have been a potential buyer shown around Rush Green and other West Ham facilities today. Jesus Christ, imagine that. Oh, come and look at this. This is what you're buying. Look at what you're buying into. Yes, we own that cabin. All right. Ignore the M. Yeah, we run out of M's. It is believed that Karren Brady and Mark Noble showed the potential buyer around the place today. This is yesterday. Not a lot is known about the potential buyer other than they appear to be a foreign. Whether they will actually make an offer remains to be seen. Well, I doubt it now if they've been shown there. We will keep you updated if and when we're going to hear more about it. The club have reiterated for a long time, for the time being, that Graham Potter's job is safe. We are still part of this media fans blackout at the moment. Fan channels that have been blacked out by David Sullivan and quite a lot of the media. So the information has not come from the top source. We know who that is, Mr. Sullivan, but for trusted people within the club. So as far as we know it at the moment, I'm under the impression, and I think it's pretty clear that the Gold family want to sell their shares at West Ham. There's rumours that they're only willing to sell 15%. They want to retain 10%, but I'm not sure how true that is. But they want to focus their attention now on their other businesses, particularly Ann Summers. I think Ann Summers is struggling financially, so they want to sort of take their attention away from West Ham and fully focus on that. So that's what I understand it to be. We talked about it before. The issue with West Ham is that unless you've got a significant stake in the football club, you're not going to have to make much changes anyway. You've still got David Sullivan in charge and Karren Brady, running the show. That's the issue you've got. And I always think that's going to be the issue. Now, whether this is something that's a bit more than that, this is someone actually coming in with a view to buy out David Sullivan. I mean, that update doesn't suggest that at all, does it? From X, it suggests it's just purely to do with David Gold shares. As I say, I'm loath to get excited about this sort of stuff and to think, oh, this is going to be great, because we've been down this path before. In fact, it wasn't too long ago, was it, that we had Daniel Kaczynski come on board, and there was a lot of excitement there. And I've got a bit of the early days, it felt like it was quite positive. It felt like there was money being put into the football club. It felt like there was a bit of sway in decision making. It just feels like Kaczynski's lost interest. From what I can see, I don't feel much of an influence from him anymore. I get the impression from Kaczynski now it's purely an investment. He's put money into the club, hoping it's going to be sold down the line, and he'll get a decent return on his investment. I don't think there seems to be a desire from him to take over the football club, although that was what I know many were hoping, self included, really. So with stuff like this, because of that and the way things have been, I'm struggling to get excited about it. But it's one I'm certainly going to keep an eye on. I really do hope that we see some movement and things like this, because we just want to see. Well, we know what the process is about. We want to see David Sullivan and Karren Brady resign. That's what we want to see. We want to see them removed, bring in the right people. But having fresh investment would be fantastic. But it's vague, isn't it? It's all very open, very early. And look, X has got this from credible people within the football club. So I'm not suggesting that the club have thrown this out to distract, but it is one of those things, isn't it, that you think it's convenient, isn't it, that once we've got protests planned, everything like that, all of a sudden there's a new owner suddenly popping up, or a shareholder. It feels a bit convenient. It always feels like these stories seem to crop up when things aren't going so well on the pitch. So I'm taking this massively with a pinch of salt. And even if it is true, even if it is absolutely bang on correct that we have had this foreign investor being shown around the club and he's looking to make a bid to buy the shares of the Gold family, what wonderful. But I struggle to get excited about it. I think there's just so many problems at West Ham at the moment that I feel like until we start seeing significant change at this club at the top, then I struggle to see any real big change coming. But look, that's not to say this isn't the start of something. I really do hope it is. I haven't got much else at the moment, I'll be honest. So I'm going to leave this video as it is for now. They'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll do a quick update of team news from X, and we'll talk about obviously a bit more about the game itself in terms of Palace and whatnot. And I'll speak to you then. Have a good one. Enjoy your Friday evening. and I'll catch you very soon. Come on, you irons.